You're still watching TVC Breakfast. Now, one of the schoolgirls who was abducted alongside 24 pairs from a dormitory in Kebbi School, Nigeria, is reported to have escaped and is safe. The latest school kidnapping is once again spotlighting Nigeria's running struggle with insecurity. As families wait anxiously for the return of the remaining abducted students, security experts say the incident underscores the urgent need to strengthen intelligence, community policing, and rapid response system nationwide. Now, President Tinubu has also assured parents of swift rescue efforts and called on local communities to actively share intelligence and cooperate. Now, joining us in our Abuja studio for this very important conversation is security consultant, Mr. Patrick Agbambu. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing? How's Abuja this morning?
Abuja is very fine.
All right, let's just go straight into it. When we heard the news of these 25 girls that have been taken away from their dormitory in Kebbi State, it really broke our heart. We saw it come at a very wrong time when America has their eyes on us. And now we see that, one of the girls has escaped. At the end of the day, we still have people in that net. We know that the president has also, shifted his G2 conference because of what happened. At the end of the day, where do we go forward from this? How do we bring back these girls home? Is it enough? Are we doing talking or we're not doing enough of the working? As a security person at this point, what do you think that we should be doing for these remaining girls that are not in their homes and their parents are in serious agony?
Yeah, thank you so much. I must first of all commiserate with the families that these girls came from, and it's very sad because it's not easy for a parent not to have any of his child at any time and not being sure of where the child is. We also sympathize with the president and the governor and people of Kebbi State, but be that as it may, just direct to your question, we are not doing enough. We have talked so much, but we are not doing enough. Intelligence alone, because we have been clamoring for enough intelligence to be able to fight that insecurity in Nigeria. Intelligence, timely intelligence, and actionable intelligence is very, very important in everything. It's always very better to prevent any crime security before it happens, because once it happens, it becomes more difficult and more expensive. Communities are not doing enough. I would say generally that the whole country has not done enough in the issue of insecurity.
We were talking earlier on about the role the governors have to play in this thing. Before now, governors will say, look, I don't have the powers to do this because security is centralized in Nigeria. And the next excuse is that we don't even have enough money to fund this project called security. But now they have enough money. I was suggesting earlier, and I don't know if I was overshooting myself, that I think we've had enough insecurity in Nigeria for Mr. President to declare a state of emergency. What do you say?
Yeah, I think I will also join you in saying that because we can't be losing lives every day and younger Nigerians, older Nigerians dying for acts that could have been prevented, and that is the reality. The governors have also said that the bulk stops on their table because they are the chief security officer of their state. And mind you, security is on the concurrent list, so it's not the issue of federal government alone. We have the three-tier of government. We have the local government, which severally is been stressed that is non-existent. The ones that we have are in the pockets of the state governors, and we have the state governors who are not interested in the security of their people. I have visited so many rural communities; they don't even know who their state governors are. They can't even feel governance in that community. So it's very, very difficult for them to understand that they have a government. So it's easier for even the criminals to befriend them and for them to cooperate with criminals than even the government and its agents. So government has not done enough. If you like, with the crop of governors we have, if you like, give them the whole money we have in this country, and they will still be having one excuse or the other. There are a few that actually knows that security is paramount, and that is the reason why they are there, and they are doing their best, but a lot still needs to be done. At the Governors Forum, I've not seen where they have taken issue of a collective action, to fight insecurity, because the danger here is that when you fight insecurity in one part of the country, without the other part, then these criminals migrate to those areas. We are seeing it play out. There was a time it was only the northeast, but today we have the north central and northwest, and even having a fair share of it. In northwest, for instance, Kebbi was isolated from all the security situation. Kebbi and Jigawa. Today, Kebbi is having serious problems. Kwara State was isolated also, but today Kwara is also having problems. So the more you concentrate on one side without having a holistic approach to it, the difficult it becomes to fight this insecurity.
Mr. Agbambu, first of all, I'd like to thank you for coming on the Breakfast Show today again, always giving us a green leaf each time we reach out to you to come help us make sense of some of these security matters. Thank you, sir. Let's talk a bit of security technicalities now. Where do you think we are missing it? Because this sounds like a broken record. For years now, we've been talking about it. Is there something as a Nigerian state we are not doing? Is it that we don't know what to do or how to do it? Where are we really missing it for this thing to continue for decades now?
Thank you so much. You see, we are missing it in so many ways, but I can compress it to one way: the love of the country. And when I mean the love of the country, I mean that citizens being concerned about the situation in the country. As we speak, some people are still saying, it's not happening to me, it's happening to the other people and all that. So, and they think they are not involved, and that is a major problem. We have some citizens who make money out of the other citizens' suffering. As we speak, there are merchants of war, merchants of crime that are benefiting from the situation we are talking about. All boils down to the issue of lack of the country. The security forces cannot do more than they are doing. I must tell you the truth. And the citizens have a lot to do. Go to a lot of countries, they have so much insecurity, more than even we have in Nigeria. But what is the situation with them? They collectively agree that this is a national issue and we must solve it. And that is one of the problems that we're having. Where we're missing it also is that the governments at the various level have also not played their role, particularly, like I said, the non-existing local government, which is very, very essential. If I look at, because all crime, all insecurity or security is local. All these things, all what we're talking about happens in a local government. How well does a local government chairman or whatever they call them, caretaker chairman or whatever, how well do they know their communities? They only visit these communities when it's time for campaigns, and after they are sworn in, they don't care any longer. And so the people feel detached. So there are many factors that we can all put together that the people that are in those positions, in those local government, I said there are some state governors, for instance, they only visit their state once it's 20th. Like today now, it's about 20th of November. They will be there till about the 2nd of the following month on the 3rd. Then they disappeared. They will not be in their state any longer, and they will say they are trying to attract investors. What investors are you attracting in an insecure environment? So really, our problem is not in the talking. Our problem is that actions are not being taken, and consistently it has continued in this form. will leave everything that is federal government. Everybody wants to blame the federal government, the president. What are those who are directly in charge, particularly at the local and the state, the subnationals?
So, Mr. Bambo, I want to add this to what you say now. If you're saying that local government chairmen, of course, which is the case, some of them are not really aware of their terra farmers, shouldn't that also lead to a conversation on security hierarchy and structure in this country? We're still talking about the implementation of state policing. But until that happens, shouldn't there be a national conversation around security division, whereby there is a command and chain responsibility given to especially the police and maybe also the military down to the local government levels, so that there can be some kind of correlation and relation between mayors of different local governments and the hierarchy of the uniform agency in his or her local government. Hence, this kind of matters could be quickly nipped in the bud before it escalates. Because we see that around the country, for example, the US, they have different levels of security protection. Who can handle local matters before it gets to the FBI?
Thank you so much. You've just said it all. And the beauty is that the crafters of our constitution or whatever, they're also very clever. And all these things you just mentioned, they are all there. Particularly, like I said, the local government chairman is the chief security officer of the local government. They have a security council at the local government area, which comprises the traditional rulers, which comprises the DPO of the community. If you have about 3 DPOs in that local government, they are all members of that local government security council. It comprises the youth leaders and various groups in that community. Traditional rulers are very, very essential in issues of security. So they are supposed to be meeting not just once in a while, if they existed in some places. They are supposed to be meeting at least once a week. They are supposed to replicate what we have in the federal level. They are supposed to have a joint intelligence committee where everybody can bring all the information together. The new arrivals in the communities, strange faces you are seeing in the communities, whatever you are noticing, they are supposed to, at that level, first of all, discuss it. It's only when it gets out of hand that the local government chairman can now get to the state government, which also has the same thing. Then from there to the federal level. By the time it gets to the state government, it will have been resolved. But in a situation whereby that is not being handled, local government chairmen, I don't even think they even meet with their councillors, talk less of most traditional rulers. Then the state government, some state governors, they only meet their state executive council maybe once in a while to approve contracts and to look at some issues and attend functions and all that, and they will disappear. These are the problems we are talking about. We need to be able to look at how can Nigerians force these leaders at the local and the state level to do their responsibility. And that is the issue. We are concentrating so much attention, I repeat, on the federal government. We must divert our pressures, our attention to those local and the state level of governance so that they can do the needful. So that is the solution. So what you just said is true. It's already there. It's in the books. It's just to action those things.
All right, Mr. Agbambu, there's something that really worries me, and that conversation has been on X. People say, Governor Idris, where were you when this, was happening? What are you doing to safeguard children? What are you doing to safeguard their safety? But it seems like, we are not proactive, but we're very reactive. When it happens, we are fast to come out there and say, oh, we solicit with you. But what are we doing? And now I'm taking you back to Kebbi. What are the things that were done? The school children, have we kept them safe? But we will come back for you to answer this question. We'll go on a quick break. So please hold your thoughts on this question. We'll be right back. And, we'll also talk about Kwara. We'll also talk about Governor Abdul Razak as well. People are saying that, you are very reactive, but what are you doing? And this takes me back to Kebbi, because we saw Governor Idris come out very fast, but oftentimes do we see them come out fast like that? These schools, how safe are we keeping the schools? Because we know that things like this happen. So are we even keeping the schools safe? Right now, lots of people in the north are afraid to send their children to school. What does that do? What does that say about us as a country? So my own question here is that our governors, are they just waiting for something to happen before they come out and speak? But what are they doing to make sure that these things do not keep happening?
Yeah, thank you. The governor of Kebbi State was quoted to have said that they got intelligence and he was advised to convey a Security Council meeting. The outcome was that they must be drilled, and they carried out drill with the school children, and a security agency was meant to be there, but late at night, the troops left there. 30 minutes after, these bandits came and attacked. That to me it's not good to talk about. And in a conversation I had yesterday, and which also involved the Commissioner for Information of that Kebbi State, he was talking about him not being aware. And I said, really, this is very, very shameful for a state government to come to that level of not admitting what he said. But coming to that, I said also that if really you got the intelligence and a drill took place, that shouldn't end by just sending I don't know the number of troops you will have sent to that place. Of course, there can be more than 15, even if they are more than that. And you're going to have bandits that will be coming with over 100 of them. It's going to also create trauma for these children, even if they didn't succeed to dislodge or take away the children. I would say the easiest thing to have done was to evacuate those children from that school. Since you have a direct intelligence that that school was going to be attacked, you should have evacuated these children to a safety place, to a safer place in the first instance. And before then, you cannot deploy a covert security in the vicinity of that school, so that in case if anybody comes, they can be able to trap them and all that. But this was not done. And we're not talking about, after they have been taken, we're talking about how to recover these girls. And I said, look, it becomes a bit difficult because these bandits are going to use these girls as human shield. Mm-hmm. Whatever you are going to do now, the lives of these girls are at stake. So you have to be very, very tactful and very strategic before actions are taken. It's not about knowing the location where they are. Yeah. It's about being able to get these girls back alive. You know, that should be the issue. A lot of people have said, go bomb them and all that, and then you lose the precious young Nigerians. That shouldn't be the focus now. So really, I think that the way forward is, first of all, actioning on intelligence that we gathered. And it's not cowardice to say, okay, let me evacuate these children first. But it shows being forthright, being direct to issues that are at hand, because these bandits come in droves, they come in numbers. And number matters, even though, unless you are going to use area attack against, but if it's going to be direct confrontation, numbers is also a factor. So the issue is that there was a mistake that was made by the state government and those that advised that just deploy men and keep there. You know, I thought that the best to have done was to take away these girls and try to fortify other schools.
Yeah.
Because we've seen that before. It didn't take you much to prefer a solution to the problem. Especially, it's now I'm getting to know that they had intelligence before it. You know, you had that kind of intelligence. I mean, you're talking about drills for little girls that are in secondary school. But that's aside, Kwara State was attacked, you know. The church was attacked there. And this is around this period where we're talking about, no, it's not Christian genocide, it's not this, it's not that, you know. What is the significance of that to the Nigerian situation?
Yeah, the significance of that is that criminals are running rampage in our country, and that is the truth of it all. And we shouldn't allow it to continue. Those guys, sadly, that went to a church in Eruku, it's not because that place is a church, but because they sense there's an active activity that will be going on. And if you watch the video critically, you see that they were picking handbags and handsets and all that. Those are not bandits. Those are not terrorists. Those are criminals that have disguised to commit the crime that they have committed. So these are, it's not related to Christian genocide or whatsoever they call it. Who has talked about also about is it Christian genocide in Kebbi? But so the school is a Muslim school because most of the girls there are all Muslims. I know Maga, I know the area very well, so I can tell you. So really, the problem is that we have allowed this thing to continue for a very long time. We are leaving it to just the armed forces alone, and that is where the problem is. In all these things, I've asked the question, where is the role of the Nigerian police? Where is the role of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps? What have they done? We expect them to be more active at this time that we're having these challenges.
Wow, thank you so much. It's been great having you on the show. Thank you for your insights. And we just hope that our children now that are in school in the North will be able to go to school, because there's been conversations that some parents have withdrawn their children from school because they're afraid about what will happen. So we're just praying that at the end of the day, we put a stop to this and we get better in Nigeria. Thank you so much, Mr. Patrick Agbambu. It's always amazing to have you on the show. Your insights are always fantastic. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Patrick Agbambu.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Have a great day.
Thank you so much.
It's really a sad one, but that's quite an eye-opener when he said that the governor had intelligence. Again, we're talking about security structure and prompt action. You can't have intelligence as a governor, and then you go do drills with some girls.
And I tell you, Nelson,
learn how to carry gun overnight or what?
That has been my biggest fear, because I tell you, there have been so many conversations. I feel like it's time that we start blaming these governors. Governor Idris, do we even really see him like that? But look at how fast he was able to come out. We are not proactive. Right now, how are we making sure we are safeguarding other schools? That's another question. Nobody's talking about
and
that.
how come they are not using technology? How come they are not using technology where personnel is limited? What is so big about putting cameras, motion, the ones that will be triggered by motion, like 2-3 kilometers away from all these schools? So something is happening.
Where the school is located is a prone area. You should do those kind of stuff you just mentioned, and then you just sit and watch, and then these people are taken, and then we now reactive after the matter.
But my fear is that for other people that are in school, what is happening? Are they safeguarding those schools? That's the question that we need to be asking. But yes.